Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new process video for Altenew, and this time I'm going to show you a few projects featuring the new Mix and Match Mariposa die, and it's a favorite die. I love butterflies, and having the option of cutting in of different types of papers and playing around with them gives you, I'm going to say, quite a huge amount of opportunities. So what I'm going to create is a layout for my family album, and this album is from Citrus Twist Kids, and I have this picture of one of my goddaughters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own pattern paper where I'm going to use to cut the butterflies with. So what I'm going to use for this is a combination of some of the watercolor refill bottles and the new metallic palette. So I'm going to use, the colors that I'm going to use are Purple Wine, Turquoise, Misty Mountains, and Lagoon. So I'm starting with a little bit of Purple Wine, and I'm using the paper that I'm using to add or to create the pattern paper is actually mixed media paper. It's from Strathmore, and you're gonna see that all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray some water and then literally just gonna add some of the liquid watercolor and also a little bit of the shimmering of the metallic watercolor, and I'm gonna mix them. I'm gonna try to get the colors from the metallic palette that kind of match the same color of the Purple Wine, and you're gonna see that it's gonna look messy, but why I'm adding lots of water is because I'm gonna kind of lift out the paper and let the paints mix nicely. And one of the reasons that I'm adding the metallic paint, first of all, it's gonna give me different tones of, in this case, it's gonna be like a pinkish purplish tone that I'm gonna go for, but at the same time it's gonna give me that shine and the shimmer that I'm looking for. And it's gonna be a very simple layout, but I think having the different tones of the butterflies and the delicacy or the the delicate design that they have in the die cut is gonna make this butterfly stand out. So you're gonna see, like I said, remember, I just spray water on my paper, then I'm adding the pigment, in this case the watercolor and the metallic watercolor, and then I'm just gonna lift the paper and move it around so that the colors mix together. And I'm gonna do that with Purple Wine, and I'm gonna clean my palette, and I'm gonna come in with Turquoise. And one of the reasons that I mix and I'm gonna put them in the same sheet is because I want to hit the purple in the middle. So I'm gonna kind of create a soft rainbow tone with all of this, and so I'm trying to get the colors close together so that when they combine, they're gonna give me the colors of rainbow. Not all the colors, but a nice change in gradation. So again, I'm just repeating the same procedure. You're gonna see that I'm using Turquoise. I'm adding a little bit of water. I spray the paper with water. I'm adding the pigment. I'm also bringing some of the metallic colors that match this tone. I'm gonna add a little bit of the white metallic watercolor, just because I want to give that shine. And you're gonna see that when I get to the center of the page, right at the edge of the pink, I actually spray water, and I'm gonna move the paint a little bit, or the blue, in this case the turquoise that I'm adding, just so that they mix together. And then I'm gonna lift up the paper and kind of swish it around, and then you're gonna see how the colors are gonna bleed into each other and create a soft I'm gonna say change or fusion of the two colors without me forcing it. So that's pretty much how I created my paper. I'm gonna show you also how I create the second piece of paper. This is gonna give me the blue, the pinks, and a little bit of the purple that I'm looking for. This second sheet, I'm using the same paper again. Like I said, this is mixed media paper from Strathmore. I'm explaining some water. I'm going to use Misty Mountain and Lagoon for this, and it's going to give me the greens, the teals, and to get to the yellow, I'm going to see at the end, I'm going to show you. And again, I'm following the same technique. I'm adding some water to the paper. You're going to see that I add some of the pigment, some of the liquid watercolor in this case, and then I'm just going to add some of the metallic watercolor just to give me the shine, and I'm literally going to lift the paper and swish it around so that the paint naturally moves on the paper. Once I'm happy with what it looks like, and you're gonna see that it took I'm gonna say it took very little time to get this done, just because it's a simple application of watercolor. I'm just applying watercolor without a design in mind. And once I have it too, like I said, I'm gonna make sure that I fill the entire page. I'm not gonna use the entire piece of paper, but I don't mind having some extra paper to cut butterflies after. So you're gonna see that that I have the greens, I have the blues, I have the teals, I have the pinks and the purples. So to bring in the yellow, I'm actually gonna bring a little bit of gold, and this is the antique gold metallic spray from Altenew, and I'm just gonna splatter it all over the paper. The paper is still damp, so the ink, when it hits the paper, is gonna start spreading, and that actually helped me with the pink. It kind of gave me some tones of orange, and when it hit the bottom of this paper that I'm holding in my hand right now, when it hit the part at the bottom when I have the Misty Mountain, because I've diluted it quite a bit, it's gonna take the tone of yellow and gonna give me that yellow that I'm looking for. So I set it aside to dry, and outside of the camera I went ahead and cut the butterflies. I cut, I'm gonna say, 2 rows of adjacent to each other so that I can layer them together. They kind of have the same colors, and I just use the die that is has all the little detailed inside the butterfly. I don't want the full one, I just want the detail one. And you're gonna see that I also cut this piece of paper, comes from the Reflections kit. I love the fact that it's black and white and has a stripe. It's just gonna make everything stand out. And all I'm gonna do right now is I want to create 2 columns of butterflies at the edges of the paper. So you're gonna see that I'm just gonna start playing with the idea that I place the picture, nothing's glued. I'm just gonna play with the idea to make sure that it matches what I have in my mind at the moment. So once I have that, I'm actually gonna use a combination of the script word number 3, the die, to cut the word sweet, sorry, and also I think it's called the fine print alpha to cut the word girl, and I cut them from a metallic black paper, craft paper. So you're gonna see that I'm also gonna bring my mini blossom and just a mini blossom die cutting machine and just cut the words. And I'm also gonna cut a butterfly out of vellum, but for the vellum butterfly I'm gonna cut the matching pieces, so the full image and also the one that has all the little cuts inside the butterflies. And then I also make sure that I cut 2 of the sweet word of the for the title word, sorry, I cut 2 of each. So I'm gonna layer them together. They're just gonna give me a little bit of a lift, and I don't want much. I want the butterflies to be the ones that stand out, but I don't want it to be completely flat. So I have 2 of them, I glue them together, and then all I'm gonna do is glue them onto the paper. Once I have that in place, you're gonna see that I'm gonna start gluing the butterflies, and pretty much the way that I have them is the way they're gonna stay. All I'm gonna do is kind of move them a little bit. I'm gonna make sure that some of the butterflies go into the little space that the word girl is creating. I'm just gonna play with the butterflies, but they're gonna stay in the formation that they are at the moment. I just move a little bit, rotate them a little bit, but that's the way they're gonna sit. And I'm gonna make sure that in some of the butterflies, you're gonna see that I just glue the center of it because I want the wings to move. But there's other butterflies that I make sure that I add glue to the bottom butterfly so that it stays still stuck to the paper, and only the top butterfly I can lift the wings. So that's going to create some movement. It's going to create a little bit of lift. It's going to create some playfulness on the page. And because my goddaughter is it's gonna be 1 year old in January, I thought it'd be something really fun and very to her age. She's starting to stand up, and soon she'll be walking. So I just wanted something. She's very sweet, even though I don't see her like physically. They live in Ecuador, I live in Canada. I see them every day. We chat every day online, so I'm able to see how they're progressing and how they're growing. So you're gonna see right now, for the picture, I added a piece of vellum behind it. Just want that soft separation, and I'm gonna set it in place. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of create the formation that I had already set using the glue and gluing the 2 butterflies together, and then gluing them in a column on the right hand side of the layer. And again, some of the butterflies are gonna have just some of the glue in the middle or in the center of the bottom butterfly or the bottom die cut that's gonna touch the paper, while other ones are gonna have I'm gonna glue pretty much all the area of the butterfly to the paper so that the bottom butterfly sits flat on the page, and only the wings of the top butterfly are folded up. And that's pretty much it. You're gonna see that again, like I said, I'm gonna take it off camera and just finish gluing everything in place. And then I actually have this little label from one of my in my stash, so that's where I'm gonna add my lines or journal. And once I have that in place, I'm actually gonna add it at the bottom of the page below the picture. And then to just finish this layout, I am actually gonna add a few stickers. I actually have one that has rainbow colors, and the colors match the ones that I have in the back. So I'm just gonna add a few. I left a space in between the butterflies to add some details there. I'm gonna add another one on top of the picture, one underneath the title story. And once I have all that in place, I'm gonna bring quite a few of enamel dots. I'm gonna bring the Altenew, the light blue, I think it's called Seashore. I'm gonna bring red Cosmos. I'm gonna bring a little bit of the green meadows. These are all Altenew enamel dots, and also a few from my stash, just because I needed a few more, and also to give it a little bit of colors that I couldn't find in the Altenew enamel dots. And that's about it. I'm gonna make sure that when I add the enamel dots, they are at least one next to each of the butterflies. And again, I'm gonna move them. They're not gonna be just on the one edge. They're kind of zigzag through the butterflies, and they're just gonna help bring the color together and also add to the movement. Once I have that in place, that's about it. It was super simple to put this together. The only thing that took a while was to have literally the paper dry. And I hope you try it. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I would love to give you a hand. Remember to check the Mariposa, it's the Mix and Match Mariposa die, and super fun die, one that you want to have in your stash. There's a lot that you can do with it and create. Like I said, the color combinations and even the material combination is infinite, so it's a good one to have in your stash. Thank you so much for joining me.